Hi everyone, welcome back to the tiny room. I'm Mick, and I'm back in the tiny room with my usual co-host Ben.
Hello.
Say hi, Ben.
Hi, Ben.
Theme music for the podcast. We don't actually have any theme music, so someone will probably make one up for us. I don't want to name any. Rachel. I hope it's Rachel that does that for the podcast.
Yeah, so my chair's rubbing against the radiator. I'm going to have to move a little bit.
Against the radiator.
Sorry, everybody. Professionalism ruined. Ben, we've had to tweet.
A tweet, eh?
A real tweet.
A real? Yeah, right.
It's real. This is from Fiona.
Fiona.
She's on Twitter at Flummerist.
Hi, Flummerist.
And Fiona, look, I don't know how you want to deal with this. Fiona says, "Hey guys, what's the story with clocks on the outside of shops? I was just thinking it was something you could talk about on your podcast."
Is this the Fiona that we know?
Yes.
That's excellent,
isn't it?
Oh, that's so good.
So
that's wonderful.
I mean, it's nice that she's being supportive, but
I think she might be intentionally taking a piss.
You think?
Yeah, I think she might be being facetious.
Highly doubt it.
I don't.
Highly doubt it.
I don't. I've had texts like that before from her where it's just taking the almighty piss out of me. So I think maybe.
So look, we're going to start a side podcast where we explain trivial day-to-day things to people.
To kick it off, before we have a spin-off, they're so people and consumers can tell the time as they shop. That's why they're there.
Well, there's actually a much deeper reason, but we won't get into it.
We won't get into that in this podcast. You'll have to tune in next week on Wednesday. Because Wednesday is hump day.
Yeah.
Which is where the week becomes unbearable, and we're going to help you with that by having our Ordinary Things Do Ordinary Jobs podcast.
Yeah, it's going to be much shorter than this one.
I'd say 2 minutes max.
Cool. Ben, did you see that trailer for the thing that's relevant that we planned?
The Inhuman trailer.
That's
the
Inhumans
one trailer.
That's cool.
Seamless, Michael. Yes, I did see the trailer. And you know what, Michael?
Did you think it was bad?
You were right. It looks shite.
Oh.
No. I have an issue with this because it starts off as kind of a little bit Game of Thrones. There's some political intrigue. There's some
the
wheeling
guy from
and
Game of
dealing.
Thrones.
There's the actual guy from Game of Thrones, Ewan Rowan. Is that his name? Ewan Rowan?
Probably.
It's close to that. Welch. He plays Maximus.
Welshman in space.
Welshman in space. We're definitely doing that episode. I think there's only 3 in pop culture. I think there's only 3 Welsh people in all of pop culture.
No.
Tom Jones is one of them.
Yeah. The man from Dracula Untold, isn't he Welsh?
Oh, Luke Evans.
Is he Welsh?
He
sounds Welsh.
He's very Welsh. Yeah.
I think he was Zeus in The Immortals.
Oh, he was.
I think he was.
Oh, wow.
Anyway,
no, it starts off, and I thought, okay, we're going to do space with Game of Thrones mixed together, but then it turns into the summer's raunchiest comedy. Black Bolt is just trying to make it in LA. And that's apparently what it's going to be.
Hawaii.
Is it Hawaii? Oh man, I picked that up completely wrong from the trailer. Oh well. It still looks like it's going to be, what even is Earth? From the Inhumans perspective.
But even the moon parts, it just looks so cheap. The moon base looks like a bloody college. It looks like a 1950s riot-proof college campus. Just someone went up to the moon and said, let's do some austere 1950s concrete architecture. It's horrible.
It's alright cause I'm saved by the Lockjaw. That's the large dog that saves Black Bolt in the trailer before he's politically assassinated by his bro.
Yeah, that's probably the best bit.
That is the best bit. And then all of a sudden it completely shifts tone to sunny Hawaii and Black Bolt gets teleported into the middle and everyone's like, whoa, where did this guy come from? You live in a world where the Avengers took down giant aliens all over the place.
Not Hawaii.
There was something in Hawaii, I'm sure. Was it just New York? Did they just attack New York?
Yeah, pretty much.
That's a very flawed alien invasion, isn't it?
New York, London. Thor was London.
That was the Dark Elves, wasn't it?
Thor, the Dark Elves attacked London. And the Chitauri attacked New York.
That was a nice pronunciation of Chitauri.
Thank you. Unlike yours. But yeah, I don't think there have been any... Oh, Sokovia.
Of course, Sokovia, which is actually a very nice city in real life.
It's not real, Ben. It's not real. Yeah, and the bloody hair.
Oof.
The wig.
Oof. It did look very cheap.
Didn't it? Like,
it did look very cheap.
Remember last week when I was Thor?
I think you did a better job than ABC's prop department.
I think the wig budget for that show is comparable to the wig budget for this podcast.
I also like the amount of narrative plot holes we have right from the beginning. You have Karnak, who is the Asian man that you see in the trailer. For anyone that doesn't know who is his power is that he can see the flaw in any plan or any structure.
Yeah.
He just sees the weakness in everything.
And then karate chops it.
And then he can find it and karate chop it. He tells Black Bolt at the start of the trailer, if you don't do something about your brother, he's going to take your throne.
Then he does.
And he does. Do you know what Black Bolt says to that? Nothing, because Black Bolt can't talk.
Say anything.
But he also ignores that advice from the man who sees the weakness in everything. Anyway.
The whole secret to this thing, if this is good or bad, is going to come down to what happens when Black Bolt speaks.
He gets a little sigh.
He goes,
yeah. Because he gets I don't really understand that, because he's superhumanly strong in the comics.
He is in this, though,
he doesn't seem to be, because those Hawaii police officers give him a right old runaround.
Yeah. Oh, is that a political thing?
He's very white.
Yeah, but he's inhuman.
Oh.
Anyway, how is it going to match up with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. as well? Because Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. has already done Inhumans. And
oh, did it?
Yeah, there was a whole season. Not the Inhumans, not the
a band
families,
of Inhumans.
But like, someone released Terrigen into the oceans, and it got into fish, and then it got into fish oil, and then people took the tablets, and it made
that's
them
they got powered up for a while.
Is the whole thing? What was it called? The Terrigen bomb that Black Bolt detonated in the comics?
Oh, he does in the comics between Avengers and it's X-Men versus Inhumans.
Yes,
or they have a whole thing. Doesn't he? Spoilers. Kill Scott Summers or something. He's the man responsible for executing.
But he blows up the Terrigen bomb when Thanos is there,
and mutants can't go near it because it's poisonous to mutants. It makes their powers over.
But the whole point of it was that they were trying to kind of brush mutants under the carpet a little bit. I'm talking about Marvel.
Oh, Marvel, really?
Yeah, because like Fox have the rights to mutants, so they're like, let's stop making new mutants and create this Terrigen bomb so that thousands of new Inhumans are created. And then anytime we want to create a cool new character, in the past we would have just said he's a mutant, but now we can say he's an Inhuman. The big one is Miss Marvel, the new Miss Marvel, the stretchy Miss Marvel.
Is she Kamala Khan? So she's an Inhuman.
Yeah, and she got changed into an Inhuman by this Terrigen bomb that Black Bolt set off.
Weird.
Yeah, but that's it. Like that now, anytime they want to create a new superhero character,
it's going to be an Inhuman.
It's going to be an Inhuman instead of a mutant.
Wow. This is why I gave up on Marvel. Yeah, it's just very loopy, bendy, timey-wimey. I'm having none of it.
Yeah, but I mean the bloody. It just looks so cheap.
It just looks very...
Except... Okay, I was joking about the wig budget earlier, but I think they've spent their money on the...
1950s lunar base?
No, because that's shit.
The large animated dog?
Yes. I think they've spent their budget on the dog.
Pretty decent job on the dog.
The dog is pretty cool.
The dog is pretty cool.
And the teleport effect is cool.
Yeah, the kind of vortex out of existence.
He kind of disassembles instead of because how many times have we seen teleporting? We've seen it in Nightcrawler. We've seen it in that bloody one with bloody Captain America. What was it?
Which one?
The one with Chris Evans. No, it wasn't Chris Evans. No. It was Anakin Skywalker.
Oh, Jumper.
That's the one.
God, let's not bring Jumper up.
We've seen teleporting over and over and over again. So this is it's a new visual effect. And I like that.
That's nice. Well, but unfortunately, that will not save the entire show.
And why are they like holding back Medusa's hair? Is this going to be a surprise?
Only if you don't know that. Well, lots of people don't know the character.
Yeah, most people aren't going.
But Medusa plays a huge role in the comics now. Because I don't know if they're going to bring this into the actual series, but spoilers again. They're now divorced in the comics, and she's having to go with Johnny Storm. Remember Johnny Storm?
Get out of here! Get out of town!
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. There was a whole little.
I thought Johnny Storm was dead.
He's back.
Oh, good.
Back, baby.
Oh, that's good.
I don't think he died. I think he became like a valet to the royal family of the Inhumans somehow.
Oh, undercover.
Because he used to go out with
Crystal,
who is Medusa's sister.
and has the stupid bloody black stripe on the hair.
Yeah. What's her power? What does she do? She has Lockjaw. Lockjaw belongs to her. The dog.
No, Lockjaw might be a person.
Is he?
He might be. He might be an Inhuman.
Is he an Inhuman?
He is an Inhuman, but
That mutated severely.
we don't know if he's an Inhuman. A dog who underwent Terrigenesis, or a human who underwent it and became a horrific beast thing.
Is Jeff Goldblum going to star in a film where he attempts teleportation with a puppy?
With the Grandmaster. Maybe Lockjaw is going to rescue Thor at the end, and they're going to learn together. It's disgraceful. So they did a comic million years ago when Quicksilver, who sometimes a mutant, sometimes an Inhuman, sometimes an experimented human, whatever.
That was an interesting little miniseries. I don't know if you ever read that. That was
Quicksilver.
Okay.
I'm not letting you finish that. Quicksilver and Crystal had a baby.
A baby?
They made a baby, and she somehow, even though they had a baby, a mutant and an Inhuman, they had a normal human baby.
Oh, wouldn't that suck?
And like Quicksilver, I think it was Quicksilver because he's a real dickhead.
He's a real dick.
He wanted it to undergo Terrigenesis to get powers. And then he was like determined until Lockjaw spoke up and said, and Quicksilver's like, I don't care, my son will be powered, I don't care what the negative effects, he could change into anything. And then Lockjaw spoke and said, even something like me. And everyone went, oh no, something like that, that'd be awful.
Foot in mouth.
And Ben Grimm was there, obviously, and Ben Grimm was like, oh yeah, see, I know what that's like. But then they retconned that, as the whole thing was a prank on Ben Grimm, that I think Maximus was throwing his voice.
What?
Look, it's old Marvel.
Maximus is such a dick.
It's weird. So way back to what we were saying earlier.
Sorry.
It all depends on the voice. When he says something, when he finally says, stop,
and everything goes...
it has to be epic. It has to be earth-shattering. It can't just be like a little banshee, shockwave.
He can do that. Like, he can destroy whole... It's technically out of canon, but Guardians of the Galaxy had a little spin-off animated series.
Oh yeah, that was really good.
And Ronan the Destroyer tries to come to the... What's the name of the... Atalan, thank you. And he just destroys his entire ship by saying no. I think he just says no, and the entire giant obelisk just goes... and gets torn apart.
Yeah, so hopefully
that'd be nice. There was an interest. Yeah. Anyway, go on. Sorry. Anyway, Inhumans. Not excited.
Probably going to see it in IMAX anyway.
Yeah, that is kind of cool.
Ben.
Yes.
You saw Baby Driver.
I did.
Is it in our wheelhouse?
Baby. Only in terms of who directed it. The wonderful Edgar Wright. It's his new film. It is star-studded, to say the least. Kevin Spacey, John Hamm, Jamie Foxx, John Barenthal,
The Punisher.
Axel
Foley.
No, it's not Axel Foley.
No, is that the laugh? No, that's not great either.
Neither are great. But no, it's not Axel Foley. It's Ansel. Sorry, Ansel Elgort or something like that. I can't remember his actual name.
Han Solo.
Fault in Our Stars. Han Solo. Isn't it? Not the world's most earth-shattering plot. Extremely simple. A little bit over the top at times in only the way that Edgar Wright can be. But probably one of the most technically skilled films I have ever seen in my entire life. The soundtrack lives and breathes with the entire movie. There's not a beat out of sync with movements and stuff like that. It's kind of great.
Is there does someone say something like, let's get out of here, and then there's a very quick cut of a handbrake coming up, and then a quick cut of a brake light changing?
Stacks of that.
Yeah.
You know, the close-up quick cut is Edgar Wright's pretty much everything that he stands for in cinematography is the quick cut.
Is there cornetos?
No. There's coffee. There's a lot of coffee.
So it's not part of the trilogy.
He might be starting it would be difficult because there have already been 3 cornetto films.
A trilogy in 4 parts. Like
they did it with Lord of the Rings
and Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
That's true.
Did you see the last episode of the last episodes of American Gods.
I did actually.
What did you think of it?
Essie McGowan.
Oh God.
I think that there's going to be an Irishman in space. I think it'll actually be Irish women in space.
Mm-hmm.
And more importantly, Irish women in feckin' Hollywood. It was grim.
Yeah.
That 7th episode. Good.
Like, yeah, a good plot.
One of their best coming to America. I kind of like the way the whole series shifted in the direction more of Laura. And
yeah.
That was a nice way of not focusing too much on Shadow and Mr. Wednesday.
Do you think it was because they've realised that Laura is a stronger actor than Shadow, or do you think that?
I think she is by a mile, isn't he? He's English, by the way.
She's Australian.
Wow.
So Ian McShane's. There are no American people in this.
Hollywood doesn't use American actors anymore for serious stuff. They just don't do it.
It's like when they said that a horse on camera doesn't look like a horse, so you have to paint a zebra. It's like an American person on camera doesn't seem American.
Doesn't seem American, so they have to.
You just get an Australian.
They have to paint an English actor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well. Well, the touchy subjects aside. Really. Good. Good.
Wow.
Sorry. I am reeling.
That was podcast gold. That was great podcast material.
Definitely going to be reported for that one. Episode 7, the accent. I won't be having the accent now.
The accent was a bit rough,
I won't be having the accent. But
Sweeney's accent isn't...
He's not the worst.
No, it's
not a bad actor. But Essie McGowan, no.
And the worst thing about Essie McGowan was they got an Irish actress to play her granny.
And then
when she was a granny, they got the same Irish actress.
She is the same actress who plays an old Irish woman in every American thing ever.
Old Irish actress lady.
Yeah, she's in everything that they need an Irish actress.
We probably have hundreds of acquaintances who personally know that woman.
I'd say so. I think my granny might have coffee mornings with her sometimes. I'm not sure.
Why did Essie develop an Irish accent when she was look?
I think she tried it. It just didn't work out.
We'll talk about it in another
anyway.
episode.
I also like the way they're shamelessly showing that Laura is really not a great human being.
Oh, she's a real
piece of work. Like she's so selfish.
Oh, she's the worst.
But it's kind of interesting. Like it's not a Mary Sue where it's a perfect woman. It's not a straw female.
Which you could kind of aim. You could direct that at Shadow.
He is.
Shadow's a bit blank.
He's a bit. Yeah, he hasn't got a lot going on.
There's not a lot to him.
It's a great series. Like it really is. Like visually got stronger and stronger and stronger as it went along. Like a really nice series. Crispin Glover. Yeah. Making an appearance. It was pretty solid.
What did you think of the reveal of the names?
That was a bit messy.
You think?
Just the spin. I don't know why they did that.
The spin and the
I think you could have done that a lot better if you had, just to give a quick mini pitch on how I would have handled that. You could have intensely just drawn the camera in on Ian McShane and let Ian McShane do what Ian McShane does.
Acting.
And you could have had him be incredibly dark and just had everybody else fade out for a second and have like rumbling thunder or have the ravens come in a little bit more. It doesn't really matter what way you did it. I just thought the weird purple storm thing was a bit of overkill. Like you didn't have to do that.
My issue with it was when he was going through the names. I'm Grimnir. I am Old One Eye. I am the Wanderer. And then the last one that he said was, I am Odin. And I thought he was going to summon Thor from The Incredible Hulk Returns.
That's what I thought was happening. Like, I couldn't understand, like, because the thunder came in and I was like, are they going to put Thor in America? Because he's not in the book.
No.
He's not in the book. Does he ever did they explain why he's not in the book?
I can't remember, Ben. I can't remember.
Well, there's no more, because we can't go any further because that will be spoilers.
Yeah.
So, pretty decent. You're one from Australia, can't do a decent Irish accent to save her life.
No.
But apart from that,
I wonder how her American accent is.
Great 8 episodes. I can never tell.
Yeah, how would we know?
They just sound American to me.
We'll never know.
But a bit anticlimactic.
A little bit. Because it was more, let's be honest here, it felt like a mid-season finale.
Yeah, roll on season 2,
right.
kind of, yeah.
So, at the end of the year we're going to have our awards for the best 8-episode series. I think it's a little bit disingenuous to call this an 8-episode series.
it doesn't really follow our common ground for an 8-episode series.
It was a bit of a cheat. It was a bit. Yeah. Anyway, speaking of gods, Ben, we have a pitch.
We have a pitch. Today is pitch day.
Back to episode 1. So before we get on to the pitch,
okay,
tell us, Ben, what even is Marvel's Hercules?
Marvel's Hercules is a superhero that was created in 1965 by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby.
Who?
By Stan Lee and Jack Kirby.
What would Stan Lee sound like if?
Hey Jack, pass me that Penguin Dictionary of Mythology. We need a winner. I guess.
This should be a new segment. Ben's unprepared Stan Lee impersonation.
I think that's how 1960s Marvel superheroes were written. I think Stan Lee would just flick through some mythology and go, "Oh yeah, wowzers," and then give it a go. I'll work on it for next week. I wasn't ready. And yeah, so he was debuted in 1965. He is the actual Hercules. So there is no debate this time. It's not an alien from another planet. It's not some alternate dimension thing. It's not anything like that. This is the Hercules.
No messing.
Of myth. He's the Greek god of strength, originally demigod. And that's who he is. And he has lasted on Earth for that long. He is ageless. He just keeps going. And that's who he is. He's. But I think the important thing to note about him now is that he really became the punchline for a lot of stuff. Because we've made fun of Thor on this before for the weird Kenneth Branagh era of Thor, where it was like, "Oh, ye old Asgard," and it's like, blah. Where they have ye old and stuff like that just stuck in. Basically, Kenneth Branagh thought he was directing Shakespeare, and it turned out that Shakespeare was a big lad with a hammer.
But wasn't that fair enough though? Because didn't Stan Lee make?
Oh no, that's who he was in the comics.
Okay.
But they phased it out of Thor. Like they modernized Thor. And what happened with Hercules instead was that he kept all that, and he became kind of the butt of a lot of jokes from the Avengers, because he was this big, gregarious, kind of ridiculous man who was a hero and is actually counted among one of the strongest beings in the entire planet. Like, he can go toe to toe with the Hulk. No problem. There was a recent run where he took on all the Avengers and they couldn't do anything to stop him. So he's quite powerful, but he just became the butt of all the jokes in the Marvel universe. It was very strange. He's an Avenger, but he has often been taken off the Avengers for being too over the top or too destructive or too clumsy or something like that. So he's a bit of a joke, which was weird. And very out of character with the original.
How close does he hew to the original?
Not at all. But to be fair, Hercules has always been one of the more popular adaptations.
Kevin Sorbo
in which one?
Hercules.
Oh, the long-haired, tanned cloth.
Yeah, slightly.
Hercules.
What's Kevin Sorbo's thing? I think he's anti-vax.
He's not an anti-vaxxer, is
he? He might be.
I know we don't get political on this podcast, but really,
people are going to think we're sponsored by Big Vax.
Really, we are. Keep sending us that sweet, sweet money, Big Vax.
I think he might be anti-vax, or he might be pro-gun. He's something controversial anyway. For God's sake. He's got issues, that guy.
Well, to be fair, he was big in the 90s. He's not anymore.
Yeah.
Give you a few issues, isn't it? But originally he doesn't even carry that name. He is Heracles in the original Greek.
It's just the same
translation. It's very similar. Hercules is the Roman one, and because Romans won all the wars, they got to change the name. Good. But he was originally Heracles. And Heracles has had a rough old go of it in mythology. Basically, as we've mentioned before on this podcast, Zeus is a little bit of a date rapist. So once upon a time, Zeus decided while he was up on Olympus to have a look down, and he saw this Bior of a young one wandering around a Greek village, and he went, "Whoa, fancy some of that."
Yeah, I wish I was a swan.
And that woman was Alcmene, I think is her name. That could be wrong.
Is that the Greek name or the Roman name? Mm-hmm.
I think it's probably the Roman name, but I'm not sure.
Okay.
So that was her, and so he disguised himself as her husband.
Oh.
And he popped on down.
The sneaky
And he went, "Hey,
fudger.
Hey, baby, it's me, your husband."
Hey, it's me, your husband.
She saw nothing wrong with that. She was like, "Oh, hey, husband." He was like, "Do you fancy a quick bit of rough and tumble?" And she said, "Yeah, go on then."
Go on.
But what she didn't realise was this crafty old Zeus.
What a sneak.
The old horn dog. And yeah, he got the leg over. 9 months later, she had a kid. That kid was Hercules, or Heracles, depending on which way you go. I'm going to say Heracles.
Be a snob.
Well, it's an easy way to distinguish between Marvel's Hercules and mythological Heracles.
Okay.
So, Heracles was then born. And it turns out that Zeus's wife, Hera, not a big
one
fan.
Of his wives?
One of his wives, but probably the most dominant wife in his harem.
Fair enough.
And she takes an instant burning dislike to Heracles.
Like me with the trailer for Inhumans.
Yes, not unlike you. I would say, I'd say she was a little bit less than you.
Okay.
I would say maybe you took it a little bit too far.
Stupid concrete 1950s campus. Sorry, go on.
So anyway, so what she does is she sends him to the moon to a 1950s. No, but what she does is she places herself in opposition to him from day one. And he actually goes through life rather unheroically for quite a while. He coasts on his fame as a demigod. He's very big, very strong. He has the glowing shininess of rosy-cheeked quality. Rosy-cheeked appears in all mythological things from Greek and Roman mythology.
Because that was good back then.
Yeah, rosy-cheeked was very good. Not
hairy-chested?
Not like Tom down the pub, who's had one too many Jamesons. It's not the same. But yeah, so what happens is she places her in opposition to this. He gets married to Megra, who you might know from the Disney...
Meg Ryan?
No, Megra.
I haven't seen Disney's Hercules.
What?
I haven't seen it.
Why not?
I thought it was Kevin Sorbo.
It wasn't Kevin Sorbo. No. It was really good.
I've softened to it now.
There was like Motown muses and choruses, and it was really good.
I might watch it tomorrow.
Yeah, do that
after work.
Peter Woods is Hades, like it's a whole thing.
Peter Woods.
I don't know. What are we gonna do?
We send him to hell. No, not hell. Hades. That's my name.
Here's an idea. Why don't we work this out, and you let me take over the throne, and you go on a vacation? Yeah, it's a whole thing. Really great, like so good. But anyway, Megra, who he falls in love with in the Disney movie, Meg Ryan, who he falls in love with in the Disney movie, who it's like a really nice courtship. No, he just had a family and a child, and what?
No, nothing nice about that.
And what? Yeah, no, not at all. And what Hera does is she poisons him with, I think, centaur blood. I think is what she does, and it drives him mad, and he murders his wife and child.
Yeah,
and this besmirches those.
Oh, I nearly did a very bad joke.
Do you want to excuse yourself?
No, I don't know. Can I say that? Is that too bad?
It's a bit late now. It's been introduced.
Yeah, say that again. Like you just that bit.
And he murders his wife and child.
Like Chris Benoit. Is that too dark?
I'm sure that's going to make it into the podcast.
We might edit that out. Carry on. Season 2. It's dark. Carry on.
So, he murders his wife and child, and that... I can't get back into this. You've completely taken me out of it.
It's very dark. So, he murders his wife
and child. Like Chris Benoit.
Oh, that's probably enough of that.
I'm going to need a minute.
So he murders his wife and child.
Sorry. And this obviously wrecks his honour. And he has to then undertake the 12 labours of Hercules. The 12 labours are a series of challenges, the most famous ones being the Nemean line at the start. That's this first labour. The Hydra, which is number 4, I think. He has to take on the bull of... I can't remember the name of the bull, but he has to steal a bull. They're all animal based. A lot of them are animal based. He either has to defeat an animal or steal an animal, and his final task is to drag Cerberus, which is the big 3-headed dog that guards Hades, out of Hades, and deliver him to the gods.
Hey, give me the dog back.
Here's a crazy idea. Put down my dog.
Why is it Stan Lee?
It's not Stan Lee. It's Stan Lee having coffee with Peter Woods. I didn't have time. If I had a list that could mimic it, but I haven't heard it.
We didn't know.
Anyway, that was a terrible Peter Woods impression. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
But he actually goes about these tasks all horrifically. He's completely driven to regain his dignity and composure so he can become a god and ascend to Olympus. And to do this, he's rarely heroic in his actions. One of his labours is to go to the Amazons and get a special belt that Hippolyta, who is Wonder Woman's mother in the DC universe,
Amazon, standard shipping or
no? He goes to Amazon for free 2-day shipping on Cerberus, but he doesn't do it for that. No,
this podcast now brought to you by Amazon Prime.
Go on, lads, give us a now sponsor. Yeah. So Big Vax does it. Come on, you Big Vax. So he does that, and she actually offers to give him the belt, but then Hera, because she's an old hooer, she whispers a little something in Amazon's ears and makes it seem like Hercules is trying to steal the belt. So rather than take a moment to explain all this to Hippolyta and say, oh no, that's Hera,
she's an old bitch,
all he does is he snaps her neck and takes the belt anyway.
He kill her?
He kills her.
He kills Wonder Woman's mother.
He just kills her.
What a bad egg.
And then all the animals he borrows, he promises to give back, and he doesn't. He ends up sacrificing them in a big feast at the
He's
end.
a real dickhead.
He's a real dick. And Marvel actually tried to cover all this by turning him into an alcoholic. He's a big old alcoholic and makes lots of mistakes when he's drunk, which is very strange.
Like Tony Stark.
Like Tony Stark, but they didn't have a demon in the bottle run to save his character.
Like my cousin Darren. Is that too dark again?
Dark again?
Sorry, it's season 3.
It's not even that much. Season 6 at this point. Sorry, Darren. We're all rooting for you, buddy.
Yeah, you can do it, Darren. He's a real shifty character, though. He has that little shillelagh.
You always know when they're born with a shillelagh. They can be up to antics. You always know. So, Michael, that is a broad strokes kind of introduction to both Hercules and Marvel's Hercules.
Cool.
What you reckon?
I mean, he's a C-lister, isn't he?
He's very low on he shouldn't be, but he is. He's very low on the list.
He's a nobody.
He's an absolute nobody.
So that's kind of the point. You know, when all this stuff started, you had your A-listers, Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, arguably Hulk, and Spider-Man.
Those are the A-listers.
Right? They're your A-listers. Your B-listers, your Captain America, your Green Lantern, your Flash, your maybe Iron Man. But Iron Man might even have been a C-lister. But anyway,
this isn't the original canon.
We're just talking about like superhero popularity.
Oh yeah, sorry, comic book wise.
Yes. And pop culture wise. So with the recent influx of superheroes, we kind of have all the big names now.
Yep.
There's no big name waiting in the wings, waiting for his shot.
It's time to scrape some barrels.
So we're going to scrape a barrel or two. And we're going to
here at the Michael and Benjamin podcast are perfectly okay with scraping the barrel.
Are you literally scraping your barrels?
I was fixing something that was very uncomfortable for me while I was sitting.
Ben was scraping his barrels.
I was fixing a very uncomfortable moment.
So we're going to scrape the barrel, and we're going to do
not my barrel.
No, keep away from your barrel. We're going to scrape the barrel, and we're going to do a Hercules movie.
Okay.
Marvel's Hercules.
So we're not even doing an 8 episode.
Not 8 episodes. It's a movie because
Jesus.
You'll get why it works. It works out.
Okay. But I'm gonna have to use the Power Ranger scale.
Yeah, do. Baby Driver. Power Rangers.
Oh, above and beyond Power Rangers, by a mile. That's
much better.
That's if Bryan Cranston played all the Power Rangers. That's how good Baby Driver was.
That would be amazing.
That would be amazing.
I would see that in a heartbeat. Just 6 Bryan Cranstons. That would be spectacular. 2 lady Bryan Cranstons. 1 Asian female Bryan Cranston.
1 Latino lesbian Bryan Cranston.
That would be amazing. Anyway, so Hercules. We open on the modern day. Let's say San Diego.
Why not?
Right? It's a zoo.
A zoo.
Right? And in the zoo, we've got this crazy, masked, quite large gentleman, wearing mostly black, and he's kind of kicking open the cages of the zoo.
Okay.
And he's saying, this is just the beginning. People are trying to stop him. Guards are trying to stop him. He's like, this is just the beginning. You've forgotten me. I'm like, you'll pay for forgetting us. And then they go on the radio and like, there's this guy here, he's calling himself the Forgotten One. He's causing problems. And then we cut away from that. Then we cut to Macedonia in 500 AD.
Oh, Jesus, taking a bit of a trek down memory lane there.
Right? Macedonia,
Right.
500 AD.
Okay.
So well past your Greek era.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
still in the same part of the world,
Yeah.
but well past it.
Alexander the Great era, like.
Right, okay. And we see Hercules. Probably, I was thinking Joe Manganiello.
He would be a great Hercules.
Like, big bushy beard Joe Manganiello. Imagine Joe Manganiello channeling Gerard Butler.
Wow.
That's kind of...
Well, because I feel like they're twins.
Well, Gerard Butler's a bit small, and I think Gerard Butler might be even possibly too bombastic.
Yeah, it would just be like watching 300 again.
Yeah, exactly.
You couldn't go back.
Also, Joe Manganiello has the look. He's big, he's bulky, he's muscular. He's getting a little bit older, which is what we want.
It's what we're
Beard,
aiming for.
curly mop of curly hair. Right. And Hercules is fighting some soldiers in a village, and it's pretty clear that he's drunk as fudge.
Nice.
Right? But he's not drunk and having a good time drunk. He's not like Thor drunk. He's a mean drunk.
He's not merry.
No, he's not merry. He's a bit boisterous. He's shouting a lot, but he's aggressive.
He's that drunk guy in
Yeah,
the bar that
he's-
everyone's uncomfortable around.
Exactly, right?
Except this guy can actually back it up.
And we really can't tell what's happening because he's wrecking the place. So we don't know if the soldiers are attacking the village and he's defending it, or he's attacking this village that the soldiers are protecting. It's just...
Okay, so it's all up in the air.
It's all up in the air. Things are getting wrecked.
Okay.
People are screaming. It's horrible.
I'm on board.
Right? And then Hercules is... We see that he's not necessarily invulnerable. He gets stabbed a couple of times.
Okay.
So he takes a few wounds, he takes a few hits, but in the end he clears out these soldiers. And he goes to the bar? Did they have bars?
I'm sure they had a watering
A
hole. of some
watering
kind.
hole? A tavern?
A tavern.
An inn? Anyway, he goes to the inn afterwards.
Sure.
And he's like, you give me my money. Give it to me. And the guys are like, but you, to be fair now, they probably won't. Look, I haven't written the dialogue down. I'm going to
Lads from Kerry,
improv. I'm going to improv the dialogue.
now, Herc.
You're like, now, to be fair, you did kind of fucking wreck the place there a little bit.
Yeah,
and
bollocks.
that's not exactly what we asked you to do. And he's like, look, I stopped the men who were coming. Great honour! I'm Prince of Power and the Lion
Prince of Power!
I'm the Lion of Olympus.
Nice.
Give me my money, or give it to me in beer and wenches.
Wenches?
Yeah.
How medieval.
So, we see in the bar, the tavern, the watering hole, the place, that kind of no one wants to be around this guy because he's a real dickhead, but he also happens to be superhumanly strong and kind of invulnerable. And he's lashing back the food and the mead, and he's kind of hassle the women, and he's like pulling the women towards him in a kind of come here, and they're like, I prefer not to.
I would really rather not.
And then the door opens, and in comes a very attractive lady. It's not Christina Milian.
Oh.
It's not Christina Milian.
I really
was
wanted it to be
thinking.
Christina
I was
Milian.
thinking we would cast against type, but it's Athena.
Oh.
So, will we go blonde? It doesn't really matter. She's not going to be as vital anyway. So it's Athena.
He is, by the way, Athena's champion.
Yeah.
In most things, that's important to point out.
What's their genealogical relationship?
She's his
aunt. She's aunt
of some kind. I think Athena is the sister of Hera. No,
isn't she?
Step aunt.
Anyway, she comes in.
I think they're all related somehow.
Yeah,
like I think they're all blood related in some
yeah,
form.
there's something weird. She kind of like his half aunt or something. So anyway, she comes in and she's like, Hercules, oh, you're a sham.
What are you at?
You're a real bad egg.
You said you were only coming down for one or two.
And he's like, you shut up, I did it for honour. And she's like, you didn't do it for honour, now did you? You did it for money and wenches.
Now Hercules.
And he's like, shut up, I don't care about you anyway, get out of here, you fucking...
You harpy.
Yeah. No, because there were harpies. Yeah. Get out of here, you fucking...
You're not harpy.
Table. And she's like, look, Hercules.
The old
Heracles.
Macedonian insult.
Yeah. Look, Heracles, you're a real bad egg. Here's the deal. Nobody cares about us anymore.
Because it's Macedonia.
Because this is... our time has passed. You're a joke. Look, you're causing more trouble than you're doing. Nobody cares about the Olympians anymore. Zeus, we're going home. We're leaving.
Get your coat.
And she's like, come with us. And he's like, I'm not one of you. I'm fucking only half. I'm
chip on shoulder Hercules.
I'm from the earth. I'm staying here. You get out of my face. And then she goes, okay, this is your last chance. We're going.
Whatever, dude.
And he's like, get out of here. You get out. Then we cut back to modern day modern day San Diego, let's say. I don't really care where he lives, but it's modern day San Diego.
San Diego. He can't be anywhere near New York.
Yeah, let's keep him out of New York. And he is in San Diego and he's in modern clothes and he's shopping.
Oh.
And he's got a huge trolley full of food. Because he's Hercules. And he starts putting a big load of beer in. Because he's Hercules. And he goes up to pay. And he tries to give the lady on the counter a big grin. And she doesn't pay him any attention. And then she rings it up. And he's $20 short. And he's like, surely you can make an exception for the Prince of Power. And she's like, no, Prince of Power, cash or card. And he's like, oh. So he has to decide, is he going to put back the food or the beer? And he puts back the food. Alright?
Oh, Herc.
So he packs up his stuff and he starts walking back through town to his apartment. And it's a dodgy part of town. We don't want to do something as obvious as he sees a woman being mugged or something like that. Let's say he sees an old lady dropping her shopping.
Yeah, and he goes to...
And he steps around her.
Oh!
And carries on.
Mm.
Right?
That's not heroic.
No. He's a real bad bloke.
He is.
And...
Athena was right.
So, then we cut to his apartment building. We don't know it's his apartment building yet, but an apartment building. Mm-hmm. And his landlady is having a dispute with two tenants.
Okay. And
his landlady is a very attractive lady.
Her name isn't Sophia, is it?
No. Well, it is, yes.
Oh, okay.
But you know who I was thinking might play her?
Christina Milian!
So, Christina Milian is having a...
God bless her. God bless her.
She's having a tete-a-tete with some tenants who haven't paid their rent and are very aggressive. And then Seth Rogen comes in. No, I'm serious. Seth Rogen. Right? Green Lantern, Green Hornet Seth Rogen. But
trim.
Not too trim.
Not too trim.
Like middle Seth Rogen. And big bushy beard.
Do I know who this is as well?
Probably.
Yeah.
Big bushy beard, curly hair. He's kind of like, he looks a bit like a schlubby Hercules.
He does.
In this version. And he comes over and, can you do Seth Rogen? No, other than that.
No. No.
So he comes
That's
over.
That's all I've got.
And he's like, hey guys, leave it. Guys, just give the lady her money. And they're like, get the hell out of here. Who are you? You're a real dickhead. And he's like, I'm not a dickhead. You should pay the lady her money. She's a real nice lady,
she's
you know.
A real nice lady.
And they're like, we're not paying the lady the money. You stay out of this.
Fine.
You're a real
spanner. That's your prerogative.
And then there's a bit of a shoving match. There's a shoving match, and 3 or 4 more guys appear. And then let's just call him Seth.
That's not his name. Stack of guys.
So Seth Rogen's there, and he's trying to diffuse the situation by being submissive and comical. He's like, hey guys, look, I don't want any trouble.
Seth Rogen's almost perfect.
Yeah, there's too many of you guys. I'm not
I
going
don't
to do
see
it.
where you're going to take you to that place. It's,
Right? Yeah. Exactly. Then he gets a bottle on the head, and he goes, ah! And then he gets a pool. Weapons
are taken to him.
Yeah, but not like knives and guns.
Oh, like the stuff you find around the neighborhood.
Yeah, items. And they start whacking him, they start banging him, and he's getting beaten, he's getting bloodied.
Banged
while he's getting while he's getting like banged by this gang bang. While he's getting gang banged in San Diego, we see that he pushes one of the guys, and the guy goes flying.
Yeah.
So we see that he has power, but he's unwilling or unable to use it.
Yeah.
Okay? Then Hercules comes across this scene. And he steps in, he grabs two guys, bangs their heads together, grabs another guy, throws him through a wall, says, oh, sorry, I'll pay for that. And then the other guy's like, man, you don't have any money. So Hercules clears it out. Okay, he clears out the situation. And Christina Milian, Sophia, she's very appreciative. And she's like, oh, thank you so much. You're such a hero. You will have to pay for that, though. And he's like, yeah, look, I'll figure something out.
There's comedic undertones coming through.
Yeah. So then the three of them go back to the apartment that Hercules shares with his friend.
Mm-hmm.
And while they're there, they get onto the topic of heroics, and she's like, thank you so much, you saved me. And then his friend is like, look, I told you, he's a real hero, he just doesn't know it. And he's like, I'm not a hero, I don't do that anymore. Like, leave it out. And the other guy's like, come on, man, you've got to get back into this. This is who you are. And he's like, look, what about you? Yeah. And he's like, oh no, I'm finished, I'm done, people don't remember me, who cares about me anymore? You need to get back out there. And so he starts reminiscing. They drink a lot, and then they see on the news the aftermath of this zoo thing from earlier,
with the forgotten one,
right? With the forgotten one, and there's a huge bloody lion in the zoo, a huge lion, and
Nemean almost.
All right, and Hercules' roommate, Seth Rogen, says, "Hey man, that's one of yours." And Hercules is like, what? And he's like, that's one of yours, isn't it? That's one of your guys. And he's like, oh, it is.
I like that you're hesitantly trying to Seth Rogen impression,
I'm easing
but
into Seth Rogen.
You're not committing yet. I like it. I like it because you're getting it. It's lilting across just right.
Easing into Seth Rogen.
You're just slipping in.
So yeah, he says that's one of yours, man. That's one of you. Gotta.
Oh my God, he's got. He's so close.
You've got to go get him. And Hercules is like, fine. Look, I'll go get him. And he takes he takes his adamantine mace, and as he's leaving, the landlady says, "What's that?" And he's like, "Oh, this is
this old thing.
This old thing. It's like." And he shows it to her, and she touches it, and it kind of sparks a bit. And he goes, "There's obviously still some magic left in it." And then he heads off. Right? He opens the door, and there's a small Asian boy standing at the door. Oh. And the small Asian boy said, "Did you just make that sound because he's an Asian boy?" No, that's one of the most racist things you've ever done.
Because he's cute.
No, he's not that small. He's like maybe 14.
Oh, that's not cute.
And he says, the Asian boy says, "You're Hercules." And Hercules goes, "What?" And he's like, "No, what?" And he's like, "You're Hercules." And he's like, what? And then the kid, before Hercules can get his head around it, he says, "I'm Amadeus Cho.
Oh, what up?"
I took an internet test. I'm the 9th smartest boy in the world. And look, you're Hercules, right? That's your line." And Hercules is like, "How did you find me?"
What?
"How did you find me?" I'm like, and Amadeus is like, "Look, pattern recognition. I'm a genius.
The internet doesn't lie."
Yeah, I've tracked you over 500 years. Now, since the birth of America, there's been incidents, tiny incidents, too small. They don't show up on S.H.I.E.L.D.'s radar. But if you put them all together,
their expositional dialogue, how it got to be,
and then Seth Rogen goes, "Oh man, he figured you out." And Amadeus leans in and says, "I know who you are, Gilgamesh." And he's like, "Oh damn it!" Right, okay. So he's Gilgamesh. Gilgamesh is a kind of proto-Hercules.
Gilgamesh is Sumerian.
Yes.
Sumerian king, Gilgamesh.
So, Amadeus says, "Look, you guys aren't gods. you're aliens. You're dimensional aliens. You're not interspace aliens, but you're dimensional aliens. And Hercules is like, no, gods. No, we're gods.
Good.
No, we're just gods. Leave it out.
Good.
And Amadeus is like, well, look, if you're not dimensional aliens, quantum tunneling, prediction, Boolean algebra.
I don't believe in gods.
Yeah, how did I find where this portal has just opened and let this lion out? And Hercules is like, yeah, it doesn't matter. Just take me there. Let's go deal with it. So he goes. He fights the lion. The lion is getting the upper hand on him because he hasn't fought in
years. He ain't conditioned for
2,000
it.
years. Okay,
He ain't got minerals.
He is begrudgingly doing it. He's annoyed that Amadeus is there and he has to save Amadeus from the lion. While he's saving Amadeus from the lion, he gets a big bite on his arm.
Oh.
He gets torn up. He's really losing this fight. But as he's getting into the fight, he's enjoying it more and more. And
How about thee?
yeah, and people start coming along and watching, and he's getting more and more pumped up and more joyful as the whole fight goes on.
Merriment.
You have to really show this with cinematography. Like, you have to show the progress of begrudging
Joe
to
Manganiello could really play this.
Yeah.
Could really play this quite well
With a
because he
big
has
look.
that big dumb guy smile that he cracks out sometimes, and it's like watching a puppy.
yeah, and then by
Yeah.
the end of it, he's wrestling the lion. He has the lion in a full Nelson. He's like,
Yeah.
yes, right. And so they banish the lion. He gives it a smack with
And
his
the main
mace.
line gets an L whooping.
He gives it a smack with his mace, but bizarrely, it doesn't die. It kind of quantum implodes.
Oh, it just folds in on itself.
Yeah, and Amadeus is like, quantum implosion, and Hercules is like, banished,
Leave it out.
banished from this plane.
Yeah.
And Amadeus is like, same thing, which is kind of Doctor Strange kind of attitude.
So we're playing around.
So they go back. Act 1 finished.
Okay.
They go back to the apartment,
Uh-huh.
and they have a big party, and they're like drinking.
Feast!
And the landlady, lovely landlady's there, and Amadeus is there, some of the other neighbours are there, Gil is there. He's called Gil, not Gilgamesh.
Well, why
and,
would you?
And Hercules is like, look, it's back! This is why we've wasted... Gilgamesh, come on! You have to come with me. And he's like, oh no, man, I don't, there's not for me. I'm going to stay here. Why would I? And then Amadeus says, look, I don't care if you're aliens or whatnot. Someone is causing this. This isn't a coincidence.
Yeah, this is a plot.
There's another one coming here at this time. Let's be ready for it this time. Okay? So, gearing up. We see them gearing up. They convince Gilgamesh to come with them.
Nice.
And Gilgamesh gears up. Seth Rogen ripped Seth Rogen, so he's still a little bit chubby.
A little bit chubby.
But, like,
He's got a few extra pounds.
a nice kind of... He's like fine. He's a fine man, but he would look a bit comical standing next to Joe Manganiello in kind of similar get-up.
Are we going to have a little scene where he looks at him and goes, and sucks in a little bit?
Something like that,
yeah,
right? So Hercules, Gilgamesh, and Amadeus go off to intercept the next event.
Okay.
And the next event is something like, let's say, a Cyclops.
Yeah, why not?
A big giant Cyclops.
Big old Cyclops.
And they fight it. And it's a tough fight, but we're really in like the joyful part of being a hero for these
Okay,
guys.
so it's like a little montage of the best old times.
Yeah, they're both having
Yeah.
a great time. Gil gets a bit battered. He gets kicked through a wall, and he's like, oh man, I told you I shouldn't be doing this. But anyway, Hercules hits it with the mace, and it implodes, and it's banished.
Okay.
Right? So, they go back, and it's the joyful party, fun, everything great.
The montage is going well.
Yeah. Then, Amadeus, he's using his mind powers. Hercules calls what Amadeus does mind magic. He's like, boy, use your mind magic. Let's be ahead of this
He
problem.
keeps telling him it's not magic.
It's not magic, it's
mathematics.
just mathematics. It's just, you're real dope, Hercules. So, he predicts that the Forgotten One is behind this. The Forgotten One is opening these portals to lure Hercules. And he wants him for a showdown.
I see.
So they plan out where they're going to find the Forgotten One. They're going to intercept him. And they say, Gil, do you want to come with us? And Gil's like, oh man, I got pretty smashed up last time.
No.
I think that's enough of that for me. I'm going to stay with my bong. And so Hercules and Amadeus go off to track down the Forgotten One.
Yeah.
They track him down, and there's a fight. And they're pretty evenly matched.
So they find the Forgotten.
They find the Forgotten One. They get the whole speech about, they'll remember us.
We
Look,
want to be forgotten.
yes, you're already reaping the benefits. Look at you. You're more of a man now
Do
than
you
you've
not
been.
feel it, brother?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they have a fight. And during the fight, it's pretty even up until Amadeus helps Hercules to get the upper hand.
Oh, mortal interference.
Hercules starts winning, and the Forgotten One tries to escape by taking out a gun and shooting at Hercules.
What?
Yeah, like they're masters of all weapons. And Hercules gets pretty upset by this, and he goes into a kind of blood rage.
How dare you
which
shoot
you know
at the
he
Prince
kind
of Power.
Yes, and he starts beating
the living
Forgotten One off. And he beats him pretty much to death.
Off to death?
In a rage. Then he pulls off the mask. It's Gilgamesh.
What?
And he's like, oh man, I wasn't supposed to go this far. And Hercules is like,
what?
And he's like, it wasn't supposed to go this far. It was I was just trying to get you back into the game. I'm sorry, you wouldn't let me get up. And then he dies.
No! Herc walks into death.
Yeah. And Hercules is like, oh, this is the worst. Maybe this hero stuff was... I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it anymore.
I feel so bad for Seth Rogen's Marvel career. Like,
right?
It's quite lucrative. So quick.
No, we're doing okay. So, Amadeus says, look, I know you don't want to be a hero anymore. And Hercules is like, no, look, they lured me back in. They made me think of the old days, and it ends the same way. It ends with bloodshed and violence and death, and I don't want any part of it. And Amadeus is like, no, there's something else is happening here. This doesn't make sense.
Yeah, Gilgamesh doesn't fit here.
Gilgamesh doesn't fit. I mean, he definitely was the Forgotten One, but the timeline doesn't make sense. Why did he suddenly decide to make you popular again?
No.
There's something wrong here. And even though he's dead, we're going to get another attack. Look at the weather here. Look at this. Look at the way people are moving there. There's going to be an attack by the coast.
Maths is happening.
Yeah, and he's like, "There's going to be another attack. You have to get on it." And he's like, "I'm not a hero." So the next attack, a portal opens again. A kraken, maybe, in the sea.
Tidy little kraken.
A kraken or a hydra.
He enjoys sea monsters.
Something multiluminous.
Yeah, big. Spectacle.
Something big.
A spectacle.
And if we could pull it, a couple of other heroes are fighting it.
And not doing so well.
No, let's
maybe
say
Cloak and Dagger.
Falcon and Spider-Man's too far away. Maybe Cloak and someone.
Falcon probably doesn't try. Ant-Man?
Ant-Man getting giant and still being tiny compared to it.
still sucking.
So no one's having any effect. And Amadeus...
I just want to do my Paul Rudd. Like, there's a little Paul Rudd quote there. I got this. Then smack. I don't got this.
Yes.
And that's perfect, like Paul Rudd dialogue right
exactly.
now. Like, yeah, so sorry.
So other heroes are attacking. We
should be writing this stuff. Like, I mean, we're wasted in the tiny room.
The tiny room.
We're wasted in the tiny room.
Their weapons are breaking. Everything's... And Amadeus has to pep Hercules up.
Come on, big guy.
Yeah. So then they're on their way, and they get there, and Hercules has his mace, and Hercules starts knocking it back, but he's really like begrudgingly doing this.
Yeah.
He really doesn't want to. And he sees the landlady.
What?
Standing kind of serenely in front of the monster.
Okay.
And then she hovers into the air a little bit, and she shapeshifts back into Athena.
What?
And he's like, what?
Mind
trickery.
Blown.
And Amadeus is like, yeah, that makes sense. Should have seen that.
Should have. Oh, that's on me.
Yeah, oh, sorry, that's my bad. And he's like, oh, you're a
Shouldn't
real...
have done that.
don't like you. You're a real bad person, Athena. And she's like, it's all for you. Only you can banish this monster. You've seen it already. The other heroes are ineffectual, and you're not beating it back. So you're going to send it back.
All you got to do is beat it off. Just once.
You're going to send it back. And he's like, I have feelings for you in that other form. You're my aunt!
That is so wrong. As he swings weird. The adamant mace. Yeah.
And so, he swings at her, but she's incorporeal.
Okay.
Incorporeal. And it just goes straight through her. And she's like, you're going to have to do it. The monster's here. Yeah. The monster's here. It's going to kill these people. In the meanwhile, we see Amadeus using his brain magic to save people. He's like, no, this tentacle is going to come down here in a few minutes. You need to go that way and go back around.
Oh, so he's just manipulating the situation.
Yeah.
And he's having a little beautiful mind moment where it's just like, you move a quarter step that way.
Yeah, and maybe he just literally moves someone a quarter step and something falls and he went... stuff like that. So
thank you, no need.
Hercules is then.
Nice.
We see Hercules. He's on the ground. He's like, "What am I going to do? Only I can beat this." But then I've lost. I've done the thing. And Amadeus is like, "Well, look, listen here. You don't. It's not you." And he's like, "What?" He's like, "It's not you. It's the mace." And Hercules is like, "What?" And she's like, "She enchanted the mace. The mace is sending monsters back. It's not you." And Hercules is like,
"Oh, nice."
Well, so, and he has a moment of realization. Sorry, you couldn't see my dramatic face there.
It was very good, though.
And
I was like, "Oh."
He has a moment of realization, and he goes, and he hands the mace to Amadeus with 2 hands.
Yeah.
And Amadeus says, "You want me to do the? You want me to whack the thing?
You want me to take care of it?"
And he's like, "Do it." And then there's a dramatic moment of Amadeus running through. The mace is almost too heavy for him to lift, but it doesn't matter because the
mace is enchanted.
The mace is enchanted, and the Kraken is enchanted to only be affected by the mace.
Okay.
So even though he's like barely kind of tapping it, it's still being
folds.
repulsed. So it folds back in, and he beats it back. And all the other heroes are like, "Why is this kid able to do it?" And like, it's his heroic moment. But the most important thing is that Hercules has made the decision to give the limelight to someone else. So Amadeus knocks the Kraken back into the sea, and Athena lands beside Hercules and says, "Well, what did you do that for?" And he's like, maybe the time,
our time
massive muscular drunk loon is wrong. Now it's the genius, the boy, the future."
Nice.
And then there's a big celebration for Amadeus, and Hercules picks him up and puts him on his shoulder, and the newspapers take pictures and the headlines, "The new Prince of Power."
Nice.
And close.
This is a very unusual movie. How
Right?
alternative.
Huh? Because the whole thing is,
Academia will go mad for you.
you want it to be it's a journey.
But it's
Hercules.
more importantly, it's Hercules' journey.
It's Hercules' journey into like he's old, he's forgotten, he feels.
But he's still ego driven.
Yeah.
And you finally teach him not to think with ego.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. I like it a lot. But it's not a superhero movie.
Well, it is.
It's a really clever one.
Thanks, Ben. You just called me really clever.
It's a really subtle superhero movie.
Right. That's the idea.
I like it.
There's a lot
So what happens to Athena? Wait, is there no comeuppance for? Well, I suppose you can't give comeuppance to a god.
There's no comeuppance to her, other than her whole plan is that Hercules was to be the vanguard. Hercules' popularity would convince
would
Zeus.
pull the rest.
Yeah, exactly. So that people would start
Look at your son; he's doing very well. We could be.
Okay, let's go back.
And
to
he's
Olympus.
only a demigod. We could be more.
Right. But then Zeus sees it. Maybe we get a cameo of Zeus at the end, and Zeus is like, "Who's this Prince of Power?"
I think we get an after scenes credit where we line up Hercules 2.
Yeah.
The re-Herculing.
And the whole idea is setting up such a. Do you want to hear some negatives?
Let's.
Not enough strong female characters.
In Marvel?
No, in this movie.
In this movie.
There are 2 female characters, and they turn out to be the same person, and she's the bad guy.
You could have, I don't know, yeah, that's difficult.
And, there's no development of the bad guy, really.
No, it's very paper cutout. But that's Marvel's modus operandi anyway.
You
paper cutout films.
You develop the hero.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Poor old Gil.
I know. Because he got manipulated, you see.
He got poor manipulated.
Yeah.
Pure manipulated.
Any recommendations for good Hercules stories?
Ooh, good Hercules stories. Well, Disney's Hercules. I stand by that. It's a pretty great retelling of Hercules. Aside from that, I think there was a really nice miniseries based on Hercules adapting to modern times and learning to be a modern hero. He quits drinking. He becomes a real hero again. He features in Civil War 2 at some point. It's really good, not the movie, the comic book series. In terms of decent tellings of the myths, go back to the originals. Go back to the original tellings. Penguin Classics have some really nice ones. They're always fun to read. And if you don't like those, if you want to go through a whole battery of Greek mythology, there's a really nice website called 5 Minute Mythology. They do nice accounts of things like that.
Cool.
Yeah, check it out.
So that's it for this week. If you're on Facebook, leave us a comment.
If you're on Instagram, check out our funny videos and tell us how witty, charming and clever we are.
At Mick and Ben on Twitter. If you want to know any trivial nonsense about clocks.
Yeah, Fiona, please let us know if there's anything else that puzzles you in life. We'd love to help you out.
And I think that's it. Bye, everybody.
Bye.